Hello, in this video I am going to explain Einstein coefficients and CO2 laser. So first let us concentrate on what are Einstein coefficients. So here I am going to explain expression for energy density by making use of Einstein's coefficients. So for that we need atomic energy levels. So let us consider two energy levels E1 and E2 of an atomic system such that E2 greater than E1. Let the population of E1 and E2 be N1 and N2 respectively. Let radiations of energy density U mu with frequency mu be incident on the atomic system. In case of induced absorption, when this energy is incident on an atom in the energy level E1, it absorbs the energy and makes a transition to the energy level E2. The rate of absorption depends upon the number of atoms in the ground state, and the energy density U mu of the incident photon is given by rate of absorption is proportional to N1 into U mu, or the rate of absorption is equal to B1 to N1 U mu. Here B12 is a proportionality constant and is also considered as Einstein coefficient of induced absorption. So in case of spontaneous emission, an atom in the higher energy state, that is E2, undergoes transition to energy state E1 and voluntarily by emitting a photon. The rate of spontaneous emission entirely depends upon the number of atoms in the excited state, that is N2, and the energy state E2. Rate of spontaneous emission is proportional to N2 here, or rate of spontaneous emission is equal to A21 N2. So here A21 is called Einstein coefficient of spontaneous emission. If the energy density U mu is incident on an atom in the energy state E2, it undergoes stimulated emission. The rate of stimulated emission is proportional to the number of atoms, that is N2 in the energy state E2, and the incident energy density U mu. The rate of stimulated emission is proportional to N2 U mu, or rate of stimulated emission is equal to B21 N2 U mu. Here B21 is constant of proportionality, which is also considered as Einstein coefficient of stimulated emission. At thermal equilibrium, the rate of absorption or the rate of induced absorption is equal to rate of spontaneous emission plus rate of stimulated emission. That is B12 N1 U mu is equal to B21 N2 plus B21, that is A21 N2 plus B21 N2 U mu, or B12 N1 U mu minus B21 N2 U mu is equal to A21 N2. The next step U mu is taken as common. So U mu into B12 N1 minus B21 N2 is equal to A21 N2. So finally U mu is equal to A21 N2 divided by B12 N1 minus B21 N2. By rearranging the terms, we can write U mu is equal to A21 by B21 into 1 by B12 N1 divided by B21 N2 minus 1. So consider this as equation number 1. Next, from Boltzmann's law, at thermal equilibrium, we can write N2 by N1 is equal to e to the power of minus E2 minus E1 by KT. But E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. Then we can write N2 by N1 is equal to e to the power of minus h nu by KT. Or N1 by N2 can be written as e to the power of h nu by KT. So here the minus term cancels. So substituting this in equation number 1, we get U mu is equal to A21 by B21 into 1 by B12 by B21 into e to the power of h nu by KT minus 1. So consider this as equation number 2. So according to Planck's law, the energy distribution or the energy density of incident photon is given by u mu is equal to 8 pi h nu cube by c cube into 1 by e to the power of h nu by kt minus 1. So consider this as equation number 3. By comparing equation number 2 and 3, we can write a21 by b21 is equal to 8 pi h mu cube by c cube, and b12 by b21 can be written as 1. So finally you can write u mu as, or u mu is equal to a21 by b21 into 1 by e to the power of h nu by kt minus 1. So this is the expression for energy density of incident photon in terms of Einstein's coefficients. The next slide I am going to explain the construction and working of CO2 laser or carbon dioxide laser. So carbon dioxide laser was developed by C.K.N. Patel in the year 1963. A carbon dioxide molecule has two oxygen atoms between which there is a carbon atom. It has three different modes of vibration given as follows. The energies associated with each of these vibrations are quantized in different sets. So if you look at the first mode, that is symmetric stretching mode, in this mode the oxygen atom oscillate along the molecular axis, either approaching towards or departing from carbon atoms simultaneously along molecular axis, and carbon atom remains stationary. This state is considered as 100 state. Next, we have to consider what is asymmetric stretching mode. So in this mode, all the three atoms oscillate along the molecular axis, but the two oxygen atoms move in one direction while carbon atom move in opposite direction, and vice versa. This state is considered as 001 state. And the third one is bending mode. In this mode, all the three atoms oscillate normal to molecular axis, while vibration, the two oxygen atoms pull together in one direction as the carbon atoms is displaced in the opposite direction. The molecule possesses highest energy in this state. This state is considered as 010 state. Now I am going to explain what is the construction of CO2 laser. So in the construction part, you can look at the diagram here. So the carbon dioxide laser consists of discharge tube having a diameter of 2.5 centimeter and a length of about 5 meter, 5 centimeter actually it is. The discharge tube is filled with a mixture of carbon dioxide, nitrogen and helium gases in the ratio 1:2:3 with traces of hydrogen or of water vapors. Brewster windows are fitted to the tube at both of its ends. Two optically plane mirrors, one is fully silvered and the other one is half silvered, are fixed on either side of the tube normal to its axis. There is 100% reflectivity from the fully silvered mirror, and polarized light comes out of the R, that is off silvered mirror. So here the polarized laser beam is coming out of off silvered mirror. Now if you look at working part, when a suitable voltage is applied across the two electrodes of glow discharge of the gases initiated in tube, during the discharge many electrons are set free from gas atoms and move towards positive electrode, at which time they begin to collide with nitrogen and oxygen molecules in their path. which excites nitrogen molecules to the first vibrational level, that is considered as 1, which is a metastable state of nitrogen molecule. Therefore, molecules remain there for relatively long time, which leads to increase of population. So that when nitrogen molecule in the metastable state collides with the CO2 molecules in the ground state because of matching of energy levels, resonant energy takes transfer, that is the resonant energy transfer takes place from nitrogen to CO2 molecule, due to which CO2 molecule gets elevated or excited to the 001 state, whereas nitrogen molecule returns back to ground state. Thus, the population of 001 or E5 level of CO2 increases rapidly, which leads to the population inversion. Let us consider ground state 010, 020, 100 and 001 state as E1, E2, E3, E4 and E5 levels respectively. Once the population inversion is established between E5 level with respect to E3 and E4 levels, then two laser transition takes place within gas. Those transitions are next, that is transition from E5 to E4 gives rise to radiation of wavelength 10.6 micrometer, which is comes under far infrared region. And similarly, transition from E5 to E3 level gives rise to radiation of wavelength 9.6 micrometer, which is also comes under far infrared region. The CO2 molecule in the E2 level undergoes collision with helium and water vapors molecules efficiently and comes down to ground state. CO2 laser operates with an efficiency of 30% power output of few kilowatts can be continuously maintained in a medium. In the next slide, I am going to show you the energy level diagram. So here you can look at the energy level diagram of CO2 laser. So in the beginning, the nitrogen molecule gets excited to E5 level, okay, and in the E5 level it is collide with the CO2 molecule which is at ground state and transfer its energy to CO2 molecules. So the CO2 molecules goes to E5 level. The transition of CO2 molecule from E5 to E2 gives rise to photons of wavelength 10.6 micrometer, and similarly transition from E5 to E3 gives rise to photons of 9.6 micrometer, whereas transition from E3 to E2 and E2 to E1 will not emit any photon, but the difference in energy is emitted in the form of heat energy. So this will gives you the clear picture of energy level diagram of CO2 laser. In the next slide, I am going to explain, or next video I am going to explain the construction and working of semiconductor laser. Thank you.